Zoe Kravitz graced us with her butt crack. You could see everything. Megan Thee Stallion wore a dark green gown with only matching green pasties to cover up her breasts. Them use their imaginations. They don't have any secrets. Nobody gets to use imagination or their mind.
My son moves through the world in a different way. Yeah. So to see you portray this character, it touched my heart.
I was just praying we didn't have a Broadway battle. I ain't never seen you ready to fight before. I was like, who is this woman? She's ready to fight.
Here's the people get stuff confused. I'm so sweet. I'm a praying person. If you need something, I'll give you some scriptures. I'll make you feel good. But I am from Chicago, okay? I don't play like that.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So we were just talking about Sherri Shepherd. Okay, we literally just had a conversation about Sherri Shepherd, in which, you know, she was in the media for facing a lot of backlash from a lot of different women. You know, women were calling for Sherri Shepherd to be canceled. Women were saying that they wanted Wendy Williams back and that they wanted to do away with the Sherri show, all because of comments that Sherri Shepherd made on, you know, attire and how women are presenting themselves nowadays. More specifically, the conversation in the comments that she made about rapper Meg Thee Stallion.
Zoe Kravitz graced us with her butt crack. You could see everything. Megan Thee Stallion wore a dark green gown with only matching green pasties to cover up her breasts. Them use their imaginations. They don't have any secrets. Nobody gets to use imagination or their mind.
Now, in this conversation, she made like so many different disclaimers, you know, letting it known that she was trying her best not to offend anyone or disrespect anyone, and that she had a lot of love for, you know, the likes of Megan Thee Stallion.
This is where I have to put my Auntie Sherri wig on. And I say this with all of the love that I have. Ladies, this is not it. And I say this because there are young women, young girls who are looking up to all of you. All of you.
As we know, the age and stage that we're in, none of that matters. Okay, they don't matter. It doesn't matter if you say it with love. It doesn't matter if you say it with grace or affection. You know, they are always going to be offended once there are comments that are contrary to what a lot of these women, modern women, want to do. You know, even recently I spoke about Phylicia Rashad, and, you know, she made the exact same comments, basically, that Sherri Shepherd made.
Came up in an era, Miss Rashad, where dignity and grace were everything. So do you ever look at how wild Hollywood is now and you just think to yourself, boy, y'all got it easy. Y'all wouldn't have got away with that in my day.
Yeah, you'd have to look at Hollywood. I could look at the way young ladies dress.
She too, you know, made a disclaimer and talked about the fact that it was out of love and it wasn't to offend anyone.
Ladies are so beautiful. They're so beautiful. Something has happened in popular culture. You know, and I don't mean to be critical, and I hope young ladies listening don't take this as personal criticism, because I don't mean it that way.
None of that mattered, okay? They were coming for her. They were disrespecting her. They were trying to diminish her credibility on why she should be able to say things. And so, you know, there's been a lot of mess surrounding, you know, Sherri Shepherd's name just because of that, right? Well, now she's back in the headlines again. One for an alleged altercation that she had with actress Nia Long, as well as the fact that Sherri Shepherd had actor Jonathan Majors on her platform and was having a conversation with him about, you know, the new character that he plays in a movie and how she was moved by that character based off of the fact that she feels that it was a good role model for her son.
My son moves through the world in a different way. Yeah. So to see you portray this character, it touched my heart. So that's why I cried, because you so beautifully portrayed this man who just moves through the world. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, for those of you who are, you know, confused about what she's talking about, you know, obviously Jonathan Majors is on a promotional tour for his movie, which is called Magazine Dreams. And so basically, you know, she's talking about the fact that he played this character in the movie who I believe suffers with some kind of, you know, difference mentally. I don't know if he's neurodivergent, autistic. I'm not 100% sure, but he suffers, you know, he doesn't suffer with, he was born in that way, right? And so he's navigating the world in his dreams on trying to accomplish being something great while still having, you know, again, whether it's autism or, you know, he's neurodivergent or whatever it is, and having that be a part of his journey. Now, this makes sense as to why Sherri Shepherd had these emotions, geared towards this film, because of the fact that her son actually has Asperger's, right? And so she was saying that it touched her very deeply, because to see this person that had this challenge, who is still going for his dreams, who's still trying to be the greatest for whatever it is that he was doing in that film, she was saying that it touched her because it's allowing basically children like her son to be seen and see that, like, no matter what it is that you have, or no matter what makes you different, you can still be the best. You can still achieve great things. Like, that does not have to define you. When I saw it, I thought that it made complete sense. I understood her tears. I understand her emotions. She, again, being with somebody who does have a child who is neurodivergent, she, who feels it, knows it, right? So she connected on a deeper level, and it hit her emotionally. Well, women were mad. Okay, women were upset about it. They were like, oh, she over there boohoo crying for what? That's foolishness. They were so angry. And the cause for them being angry is they felt like Sherri Shepherd has this soft spot for actor Jonathan Majors, and she's too harsh on women. You had women making all kinds of different comments and stuff like that, mad about her expressing her emotions, which we're going to actually get through, the comments one by one and talk about it. But basically, he's on this press tour for his movie release, his new movie release. And it's right on the heels of, a couple of days ago, there was an additional audio release of a conversation that Jonathan Majors had with his ex-girlfriend, who we all know, had him through court, accused him of abuse and assault and all these things, in which, Disney and Marvel dropped him from, working with him and stuff like that. It literally ruined his reputation, tarnished his career, only for then the charges to have been dropped and him to get basically an accidental assault thing, is the best way to put it, based off of the fact that he, snatched his phone and accidentally scratched her hand. But if you guys have not heard the audio that was released, I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys.
I'm ashamed. I've never wrestled with a woman before. It's just, I've never aggressed a woman. I aggressed you. Like,
you strangled me and pushed me against the car.
Yeah, all those things are under aggressed.
Yeah.
That's never happened to me. So
because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly
something inside of you.
So here we can hear, like, a conversation of basically, it's him alluding to the fact, she said that he strangled her, and then, he basically said that he aggressed her, and then she's like confirming. Again, it never is going to sit well with me, the fact that she was in this relationship with him, and through every kind of discourse that they had, she was recording these conversations secretly to obviously weaponize this information against him. That doesn't necessarily feel like comfortable. Also, we saw video footage of this man literally running down the street away from this woman after she said that there was some kind of altercation in the car. And, it's just weird to me that if you are in harm or in danger from this person, that you actually end up being the one chasing them, when him getting out the car and running away would have given you freedom to seek help if necessary. So it doesn't really add up to me. I wasn't there though. Sherri Shepherd wasn't there, and the viewers, we all were not there.
I'm ashamed. I've never wrestled with a woman before. It's just, I've never aggressed a woman. I aggressed you. Like,
you strangled me and pushed me against the car.
All those things are under aggress.
Now, I'm just going to start off by saying, I don't agree with anybody putting their hands on anyone. Okay, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's right. I think that, especially as adults, you should be emotionally intelligent enough to know that if you are angry, then you need to retreat from a situation. You guys need to go your separate ways. Things do happen, but I just feel like when things get to a certain level, like, you have to know when, right? Like, I don't agree with that. I don't get behind it. I don't think it's cool. I don't see any need to defend any kind of situation like that. I don't agree with it. So for the women who were upset about, any kind of redemption that he's receiving after, this audio leak happening in line with his promotional tour. There's some women who have been through things, right? And so they don't have any sort of compassion, feeling of we should help him or we should forgive any kind of situation, even if it's something that just seems like, right? Even if they don't have the proof, they weren't there, they don't have any facts, there's no video footage of these things happening. You have some women that just don't have any space for, if your name is called up in this situation, we don't want to hear it. Right? And I do get that. But I also believe that more than one thing can be true at the same time. The vast difference in this situation in which Sherri was talking about the likes of the Megan Thee Stallion and Zoe Kravitz and Kanye's new wife and all these women who are out there outwardly is that there is no debate on what we're seeing. Okay? We are all visually seeing the same thing. And we all know the effect that it will absolutely have on other women, especially younger women growing up in the next generation.
There are young women, young girls who are looking up to all of you. All of you.
That's not debatable, right? It's not like one person assumed that she had on one outfit and another person thought she had on a different outfit. Like she was speaking off of what she saw with her own two eyes. Okay? When it comes to Jonathan's situation, it's very much hearsay, his word against her word. Yes, they do have a conversation about, aggressed, but when somebody is recording you, they also know how to formulate a conversation to make it seem or go in their favor. I'm just going to keep it real. Unless we hear the full totality of the audio, it definitely makes it seem like, she's purposely saying things again because she knows that she's recording. Because strangled could mean a lot of things to the person who is, standing in the space of wanting to be the victim. I'm just going to keep it real with you guys, okay? Like strangled could mean strangled. It could mean I put my arm up against your neck when you was trying to tussle with me or fight with me because I'm trying to get you off of me from hitting me. Like it could mean so many different things, but because we do not have the footage to actually see what happened, nobody would know. Only thing we can go off of is the fact that he ain't get charged. Okay? And since the judge and they had all the evidence and they said he's not guilty for all these other things, that's the only thing we can go off of. Just keeping it real. And so, again, Sherri now giving her opinion or her feedback based off of not even him as a person, but the character in the movie. Again, I don't see how that equates to the same thing with Meg Thee Stallion actually and actively wearing these things. She didn't disrespect her. She didn't diminish her. She didn't say nobody should support her. She, in fact, said something I disagreed with, was that she actually listens to the music.
Talented. And I know Megan as an artist, you get a little raunchy. I didn't heard WAP and body yada yada. But I also say, and I listen to those songs too.
And again, I disagreed because I'm like, you're in support of, the WAP song and all this kind of stuff, then you also are in a way supporting the image as well. But anyway, a lot of women were going back and forth, again, still on the campaign of trying to get her canceled, all because of what she said about Megan Thee Stallion. And they were in the comments saying horrible things about her. First comment says, this coming from a woman who decided that she did not want to be a mother anymore, ran off on her surrogate and still paid child support to this day, has not been a mother to that child for one day. I may be wrong, but she cannot tell me nothing about being morally correct. She's a deadbeat mother. Now, the issue for me is that a lot of people, were constantly saying this stuff about Sherri and don't know the context of the story. Okay, from what I know, Sherri Shepherd was married, and she was in a tumultuous situation with her husband. They had a surrogate involved. This man was trying to basically use that surrogate as leverage, as a sense of kind of like alimony after the marriage was declining, because he already knew that they were going to get divorced, and was trying to, again, use that child as a sense of, I'm going to, get the money. I'm going to put her on child support. I'm going to fight her for full custody. Like, I'm going to do all these things just to cause these problems. And what she did was she exiled herself out of the situation, agreed to pay the child support for the child, and said, you know what? this is a surrogate. We were going to, blissfully raise this family together. We're no longer a family unit. You are now trying to extort funds from me. So here you go. You have the baby. You can raise the baby. I'll pay child support, and that's your child. The way that these people are formulated is like she gave birth to this child. Okay, and just decided that she wasn't gonna do it no more, ran off on everybody, and all of a sudden is just seeing this negative scene. No, there was a lot of context necessary that was missing, but the comments just kept getting worse. Next comment says, we love to judge and make everything hard for the women, but for some reason, men just have to be coddled. I hate it here. Next one says, older generation of women will always favor a young man over a young woman. Next one says, Sherri is a weird one. She doesn't give nice girl at all, never has. But the way gravity has condensed her frame, she should. Next one says, apparently showing skin is more of a danger to young girls than abusers. Womp womp. Next one says, she wants her son to beat white women. Ma'am, WTH. Next one says, anyway, bring Wendy back. I still feel like she took that lady job. I don't care. So again, a lot of, people being upset. And again, are we surprised that when another woman holds women accountable, that woman then faces backlash? We shouldn't be. Like we should. That is the climate that we're in. We're in the era now where right is wrong and wrong is right. And if you don't agree with the wrong that is now considered right, then you're the problem. And so she has now, been under all this scrutiny from all these Meg Thee Stallion fans and all these women who want to dress like a humpback hoochie mama. All because of her just talking about the fact that, grace and poise and class has now become a thing of the past. And she wants people to remember the space that they're in. Now, again, I think two things can be true at the same time. You can have an opinion yourself about Jonathan Majors based off of your own feelings of the situation. Again, regardless of if you don't want to go with what the court did and if you have your own feelings based off of your own past and your own traumas, you can have those feelings. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But that in itself does not negate anything that she said about Meg Thee Stallion. Okay? It genuinely does not. It doesn't negate anything that she said about the appearances, women, how women carry themselves. Two things can be true. You can not like the fact that she, even gave him a platform to speak on based off of your feelings about this person, and then still agree with what she said about Meg Thee Stallion. But I realize that a lot of people have a problem differentiating the two. When I had my conversation, again, my platform is holding women accountable. And I talked about, just for example, the likes of the Dr. Umar situation and whatever happening with his child. I talked about the fact that the mother's, assistance in weaponizing the child against her father. I didn't get that out of thin air. I watched the child's, his daughter's live streams. And seeing her say out of her own mouth that all of the feelings she has about him come from her mother, right? I didn't just make that up. I didn't. But people couldn't differentiate a typical baby mama, baby daddy, bitter baby mama situation and separate the fact that it's coming from somebody like a Dr. Umar. Yes, you don't have to agree with the things that he says. I don't agree with some of the things he said. I've made numerous videos talking about a lot of the things I don't agree with, but two things can be true. You cannot agree with some of the things that he's saying and then still see this is a typical baby mama, baby daddy situation where the child's mind is poisoned by the things that her mother says to her. And now she is reflecting out of, that space.
When Grandma Smurf told Mama Smurf not to give you my last name, I told your mother I'm going to need a paternity test. My daughter not getting my last name, I'm going to need a paternity test. It is disrespectful for you not to give my daughter my last name. So after you were born,
this man is you and I'll say it to your face, you were.
Now, the next thing that ended up happening, which was kind of ironic, is that, she was now in the news again, which it's only been a couple days span since this whole Jonathan Majors interview. And now it has been because of something that happened with Nia Long on Broadway.
Went to the opening of Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal's show Othello. Yeah. So this unnamed celebrity actress who shall remain nameless, I'm sitting there talking, somebody grabbed my arms and they forcefully turned me around. So I'm in a good mood. So I go, hi, what's going on? Because I know her. And she says to me, she goes, you've been shading me a lot.
So it seems to me like Sherri can't catch a break. Okay? She can't catch a break. She's catching it online. Every time she talks about something, she voiced her opinion. She doing it. Now she's over here at an actual Broadway opening night of a play. And even somebody who, would seem to have been her peer is now allegedly, grabbing her arm and trying to rough her up, basically trying to say, keep my name out your mouth.
And I'm like, and so she came up to me in front of everybody going, you shaded me. And then she walks off. So, hey, unnamed, so I was mad. I was really mad. And I said, you know what? You don't freaking get to do that to me. So I went to the bathroom during intermission. I stood there for 15 minutes waiting for a meeting in the ladies' room. Okay? I stood there. You want to tell me I shaded you?
Now, at first, a lot of people were speculating that the person who it would have been somebody who's like in the camp of like the Meg Thee Stallions or, Zoe Kravitz or stuff like that because of, again, the comments that she had recently made. But when she kept telling the story, it allowed people to know that that's obviously not who she was talking about.
So I would say unnamed celebrity because you think I done shaded you, which means you watch my show. I don't know who you think I am. I think you get me confused with somebody, one of the bloggers or the influencers, because I know I didn't shade you. Matter of fact, when something scandalous came up about you, I was on your side.
Now, as you see, they ended up rolling the credits and showing all the people who were in attendance. And the name that ended up sticking out based off of what she said, she said that there was some kind of situation that happened regarding said unnamed celebrity, and she ended up having their side. And then this is a clip that has came, resurfaced to find out that she was actually talking about the very beautiful Nia Long.
Opening up about her very public breakup with her ex. They split after a cheating scandal. So Nia sat down with Jeezy and said the breakup was a wake-up call for her. I know what this is like because I've been cheated on in the past, and I had the same wake-up call. And somebody asked me, do you remember when you got to that point when that aha point came? And I said, yes.
So as you can see in this resurfaced clip, based off of the list of names, that they showed who was in attendance, all roads led to Nia Long, which then Nia Long ended up actually making a post on her social media, which people believe is her basically solidifying that it was indeed her. And it was this picture in which she said about last night. So obviously we know she was there, and it seems like that was the situation, that happened. I don't know. Maybe it could have been a strong misunderstanding. It could have been that maybe she was fed information from somebody else who has already been on the We Can't Stand Sherri train, we want the show canceled train, that went to her and maybe distorted a conversation. I'm not 100% sure. But Sherri Shepherd actually did do something that I thought was very important. Number one, she did not mention the person's name, so if there was any guest that comes, nobody would even know who she's talking about. But two, she offered a space for that person to come on so that they can have the conversation together.
When it happened. So I would say to unnamed celebrity, because we've known each other a long time, come sit on my couch so we can talk about it. And you know who you are.
After, she did invite her on to talk, she did say something a little shady that probably would, make that person not want to come on and talk, even though she was talking in defense of herself. But she was like, girl, don't play with me like that because I'm not one of them.
I was just praying we didn't have a Broadway battle. I ain't never seen you ready to fight before. I was like, who is this woman? She's ready to fight.
Here's the people get stuff confused. I'm so sweet. I'm a praying person. If you need something, I'll give you some scriptures. I'll make you feel good. But I am from Chicago, okay? I don't play like that.
Now, again, it just seems to me like Sherri Shepherd has had a very tough week. It's like nothing that has been able to do or say has been correct. Everybody is, judging everything that she says just based off of her going against the grain and sharing her opinion. And, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. If you are going to, go out there and decide that you're not going to go with the majority or go with the flow of how everybody else is doing things, and you're going to speak out against things that you don't think that are right when everybody else does, you have to be ready to prepare yourself for backlash. They're calling her pick me, mammy, same names they call me. Okay, they're gonna do that. They're going to try to negate you or just make up stuff. Like, that's just how it goes. And again, I always appreciated the fact that Sherri did use her platform to say that, again, because there's so many, women out there who are distorting these messages. And, I can't imagine being a young girl in this time and seeing what you see everywhere, because it just seems that, anything goes. And once you speak up about all that stuff going, You're the problem. So I love what she said. I don't have any problem with Sherri Shepherd at all. I appreciate her. I actually have grown more appreciation for her through these conversations. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section. What you think about the Jonathan Majors situation. What you think about the Nia Long situation. Very stunning. Very beautiful Nia Long. And just your opinion on this entire situation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.